You think they care about your car, your clothes, the things money can buy? They see through that. Women, they've got a sixth sense for weakness, for insecurity. They're watching for the things you show, the steel beneath the skin. Subscribe to AREV, because today we're talking about the 13 things women notice in a man, the 13 signs of a Stoic heart. AREV is about more than attracting women. It's about building men of strength, men of virtue, men who lead with silence and act with purpose. But the ancients knew a man who masters himself, masters the world. And women, they notice this isn't about tricks. It's about becoming the man you were meant to be, the man who doesn't need to chase because he attracts. The world's a chaotic place, full of noise, full of distractions, full of things that can break a man. She sees that, sees how easily men are swayed, how quickly they bend to the wind. But you're different. When the storm hits, you stand firm, a rock in the current, unmoved, unbreakable. That's what she craves. A man who can weather the storm, a man who doesn't add to the chaos, a man who in the face of it all remains calm. That calm, that's power. A warrior doesn't flinch, not from a fight, not from the truth, not from the gaze of another. You look her in the eye, not with lust, but with that same warrior's gaze. She feels it in her core, the intensity, the honesty, the lack of pretense. You've seen the darkness, haven't you? Faced it head on, and that darkness in your eyes, it's magnetic. It speaks of battles fought and won. It speaks of a man who doesn't hide, and that, my friend, is irresistible. Words, they're weapons, powerful, dangerous. Most men, they wield them carelessly. Like a boy with a sword, swinging wildly, hitting nothing. But you choose your words carefully. You speak when you have something to say. And when you do speak, she listens. Because your silence holds more weight than their noise. Because your words, when you choose to use them, cut through the chatter and strike true. That's the power of a Stoic tongue. A man who can master his words can master himself. Chapter 4. Discipline in small things. Discipline. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the small things. The everyday battles against your lesser self. She sees how you hold yourself, the way you fold your clothes, the way you arrive on time, the way you choose water over wine. These are not accidents. They are choices, choices that reveal the iron within. And she sees that iron. She sees the discipline that governs your life. And it tells her that you are a man who can be trusted, a man who can be relied upon, a man of substance. Chapter 5. How You Handle Rejection. Rejection. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Most men, they crumble, they beg, they plead, they become shadows of their former selves. But not you. You take rejection on the chin, you nod, you move on. No drama, no pleading, just quiet dignity, because rejection doesn't define you, it doesn't break you, it reveals your strength. And that strength, that's what she remembers. Chapter 6. Purpose over pleasure. Pleasure is fleeting, a quick hit, a fleeting high. It's the easy path, the path of least resistance. But you walk a different path, the path of purpose, the path of meaning. She sees it in your eyes, the fire of a man on a mission, a man who isn't swayed by cheap thrills, a man who seeks something more. And that, my friend, is what sets you apart. The world is full of nervous energy, fidgeting, shifting, never truly at ease. But you move with a quiet confidence. You are present, grounded, still. Your body language speaks volumes without you saying a word. It speaks of a man in control, a man comfortable in his own skin. And that stillness, it's magnetic. It draws her in. Respect. It's not given, it's earned. And it's not about status or wealth. It's about character. She watches how you treat others. The waiter, the stranger, the woman who can do nothing for you. Do you treat them with kindness, with courtesy, with respect? Because a man who respects virtue in others possesses it himself. emotions. They can be a weapon or a weakness. Most men, they're slaves to their passions. But you've mastered your emotions. You don't react, you respond with reason, with control. She tests you, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. And when you remain unfazed, when you hold your ground, she sees your strength. Because a man who can master himself can master anything. A man of standards doesn't need an audience. He doesn't need applause to strive for excellence. She sees it in the details, the way you hold yourself accountable, the way you constantly seek to improve. You don't need her approval, you seek your own, and that's self-respect. It's intoxicating. Disrespect, it's a test, a challenge to your core. Most men, they rise to meet it with anger, with aggression, but you see it for what it is, a reflection of their character, not yours. You choose dignity over drama, detachment over destruction, and in that moment you win. Time, it's the most precious commodity, and yet most men squander it. She sees how you spend your days, your hours, your minutes. Are you constantly chasing distractions, or are you building something meaningful? Because a man who values his time values his life. Above all else, she notices your peace, the quiet confidence of a man who needs nothing. You are complete within yourself. You don't need her validation. You don't need the world's approval. You are content, at peace. And that inner peace, it radiates outward. It draws people in. Because a man who needs nothing attracts everything. This isn't about tricks, gentlemen. It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves. Subscribe to AREV and join us on this journey. Stoicism isn't about attracting women. It's about building a life of purpose, of meaning, of strength. But the funny thing is, when you build that foundation, everything else falls into place. Because women, they don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. They need you to be grounded. They need a stoic man.